And be careful where you swim. As the temperature goes up, so are the lakes and creeks.
But some of them are flooded, flowing fast, and full of hidden dangers. KXAN investigator Kevin Schwaller has more on what you might want to think about before taking a dip.
It's a pretty incredible current with a lot of rapids that you would never expect to see on this lake in the middle of town.
Matt Joyce passes by the same sights on his jogs around Lady Bird Lake, but not this time. The lake is far from clear, and you can hear its flow.
I'm sure that it's nasty because of the amount of runoff and this being a big city and whatever.
That water is so powerful, you cannot swim against it.
Chris Harrington is an engineer with the city's Watershed Protection Department. He says you can expect not only Lady Bird Lake, but Lake Austin, Lake Travis, and creeks are also full of things you can't see, put there by the recent storms.
All of the sewage, poop, anything that's going to be on the surface of the ground will get washed in, and then we'll have elevated bacteria levels.
Austin and the Lower Colorado River Authority test for bacteria in the scope of overall long-term quality of lakes. But they don't test specifically for bacteria after storms or to measure swim quality at individual spots.
We can't monitor everywhere, and so again, when there's stormwater runoff, we use sort of just that general rule of common sense. Stay out of the waters, particularly when the flow is this high.
Harrington says the high bacteria levels are only temporary. The message in the meantime, swim at your own risk. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN, investigates.
Waterway bans and closures are also limiting swimming. Harrington says water is typically safer once it becomes clearer. And he says that murky water is a sign that the flooding and storms are still affecting quality. So swift water, flooding, bacteria levels, all of these issues, we might be getting some break from that. Right, Jim?
Yeah, finally, thanks to the dry forecast, these creeks and river inflows will be slowly dropping, but Lake Travis is not dropping yet. Here is a live look with our night vision camera from the Oasis restaurant, looking out toward Mansfield Dam with open floodgates. 3 of them, as a matter of fact, 4 actually on Mansfield. Open floodgates currently on Buchanan, 3. 1 was closed earlier. Inks Lake does not have floodgates. The water flows over the spillway, which it is doing. Wirtz Dam, Starkey Dam with floodgates open, as does Mansfield, as I mentioned, and Tom Miller Dam. And as you mentioned a few minutes ago, all of the Highland lakes below Lake Buchanan with dangerous currents, recreational boating is currently banned. Lake Buchanan is holding steady right now. Lake Travis, I'm having to change that number every hour, but I'm changing it more in the hundredths instead of tenths in the last several hours. So I think the lake may be about to level off at about 693, which is what the LCRA had predicted.